All right, guys. So I just want to go through the rest of the skills now on your DeltaMath assignment for today. The last video went over that first one, which had the first R done for you. The only difference in this second one here is you have to actually do the first R. You have to also rotate it in standard positions. R, R, C, and V. On the last skill, it kind of did the first R for you, or it allowed you to do it right there on the screen. You're going to have to draw out the picture for these. Okay, so you have to do the first R. So let's do this one. Sine of 210. Okay, rotate. 210 is greater than 180, but less than 270. Okay, so it's in quadrant 3 there. My reference angle. 210 is 30 more than 180, right? So the reference angle is always the angle between the terminal side and the x-axis. So there, 210 minus 180 gives me 30 degrees. Okay, cast. Okay, or in quadrant order, it's all students take calculus. In quadrant 3, only t, tangent, and its reciprocal cotangent are positive. So since this question asks about sine, it's got to be negative. Now the value is your hand trick. So basically, since the question asks about sine, the reference angle is 30. What is the sine of 30? Okay, so 30 is my ring finger. Pull back your ring finger. Remember, for this hand trick, it's always radical something over 2. 30 is my ring finger. Sine, since it's alphabetically after cosine, I'm counting the number of fingers below or underneath that ring finger, so there's just 1. Right? You know radical 1 is just 1, so that means this equals negative 1/2. Okay, now I just want to go back and look at the other. We'll look at one more. So the next one in this section, perfect. So secant of 210. So I'm glad this one came up with 210 because we already have the first R done for that. The second R will be the same since it's the same angle. Okay, but what's different once you get into the skill that says parentheses all 6 is now it can include the 3 new functions. So secant, cosecant, and cotangent. Okay, so the key to this is you guys need to know that sine is cosecant flipped, or 1 over cosecant. Cos is secant flipped, and tan is cotan flipped. Okay, when I say flipped, so like, let's say, for example, sine of 30 equals 1/2. That means that since cosecant is the reciprocal of sine, flip it. Cosecant of 30 has to be 2 over 1. Okay, so basically for these problems, if you get a secant, for example, you're doing the whole problem as if it says cosine, then just at the very end, you flip. Okay, so 210, we already have the first R and the second R done. Okay, cast. Okay, we're in quadrant 3. All students take. Tan and cotan would be positive here. This is asking about secant, so our value is negative. All right, but now the V. Since it's a secant, do cosine of 30. Cosine is secant flipped. Okay, so my ring finger down, cosine, I would get radical 3 over 2 using my hand trick. Okay, but you need to flip that since the question doesn't ask about cosine, it asks about secant. Okay, don't forget about this negative here. So really it's negative 2 over root 3, which you guys know you have to rationalize times root 3 over itself, and you should get negative 2 root 3 divided by 3. Negative 2 radical 3, hit to the right, divide by 3, and we got it.